Okay, here we go.
All right, how you doing, Darren?
Pretty good. Yeah, I was really trying to get it on my MacBook, but it wouldn't let me send a request on there, so I had to switch to my phone. So, just some computer weirdness.
Oh yeah, definitely. So all right, we're gonna start off by talking about this weekend's events. AEW. You appeared at all the shows, correct?
Yes. Yep.
And what was energy like with the crowd?
Yeah, I would say throughout the all of the shows, it was just lots of energy, and especially for AEW coming to Minnesota for the first time, it was a pretty wild crowd, and I was, it was pretty electric, though.
Would you say that is more? Is it worth the money versus going to a WWE show?
I would definitely say yes. Everyone was into it, and everyone was having a lot more fun than the time I went to my first WWE show. So I would definitely say it's worth the money.
Yeah. So now we're going to move on from AEW and talk a little bit about the independent scene in Minnesota, which I think right now the best promotion out there, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to disagree with me. I think Tony DiNucci's AWF is probably one of the best out there from a standpoint. I went to the MAW show in Rochester here, and it really wasn't nothing that I expected versus the AWF show. I mean, they had Scott Steiner there, and like we talked about that the next day, and I was telling you, Scott Steiner had a lot of mobility issues. He wasn't really moving around like he should be, but he's getting older too. So,
yeah.
And a lot of the guys out there, they're more younger, they're getting more agile and doing what they're doing. I mean, there's a lot of good indie wrestlers out there that should be signed by either Impact, WWE, or AEW. I mean, take a look at P.D. Brown. He should have been signed months ago.
Right. Yeah. Actually, let's get him on the screen right here since we're talking about him.
Oh yeah.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was
P.D. Brown.
Oh yeah. And I was going to tell you that is amazing what you do with them action figures, how you make them and how you do them. If you want to take some, you're welcome. If you want to take some time right now and tell the viewers about yourself and let them know what you do, they appreciate it.
I can do a quick overview. So, obviously right here is P.D. Brown, I believe. I want to say it was like my 6th Minnesota figure, but I have to go back and check the dates and everything. But basically, this just started in the beginning. I about 5 or 6 years ago, 6 years ago, 2015. Was watching some YouTubers online, and I was just watching how they did the live tutorials and others. Or pretty much their overviews of how they make custom action figures, and I saw how much that they were how much their figures they were selling, and then how popular they could be. So that kind of got me interested. Originally started with WWE figures, and then 2017 went to a Minnesota show, and then just got inspired to make Minnesota figures, and then went to Facebook a few years later and just got to this point. Yeah.
And are you selling them figures, or? Or are they just kind of
yeah,
for you right now?
I've actually, what the first figure, do you know the wrestler, Moses Mayhem? He was a Minnesota wrestler from 2 years ago.
I've heard of him. I've heard of him, but never seen him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I believe 2019 I saw him at a show, and then a few years later he talked to me on Instagram and asked for a figure. And originally I did say no because I wasn't sure if I was kind of nervous about selling them and my work and all that. But then I was really thinking about it and started selling, and I sold my first figure. I made a custom Moses Mayhem figure for Moses Mayhem himself. So he currently has my first ever sold figure. Mm-hmm.
Well, there you
and
go.
I've sold a few with others.
That must be a good feeling, right. So, what other independents have you gone to see in the state of Minnesota?
Yeah, in the matter of 4 or 5 years, I've been to Steel Domain Wrestling, Midwest All-Star Wrestling. I've only been there to Midwest once. I really want to go again, but then I've been to MIW, Midwest Independent Wrestling, Under the Big Top. That's Mitch Paradise's like big show of the summer, so I've gotten to all 4 of those now.
Yeah.
What else? I've been to, up in Fargo, North Dakota here, I've been to Time Bomb Pro Wrestling. I mean, it's kind of, the last show I was in Dilworth, so I mean, kind of on the border of Minnesota and North Dakota, but I would still say it counts a little bit. And then Below Zero Wrestling, that was in Fargo too, so yeah. Yeah, there's been a lot though. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've been to numerous shows. I don't know if you ever remember the promotion, Northern Premier Wrestling. I think that was ran by J.B. Trask.
Oh, okay.
That's where I don't know if you know any of the wrestlers like Dan Jesser, Jerry Lynn, Horace the Psychopath. That's where they all wrestle.
I'm not familiar with the company, but I know the wrestlers. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, that company now is has been out of business for so long. I think at that time, I think way back, I think it was like maybe 98, 99. I think independent wrestling started going down, and now all of a sudden it's coming back up. Because if you look at Ring of Honor just went out of business, so now that's going to give more of the independent companies a chance to grow more.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I was honestly surprised that ROH went out of business. I saw an article. I was very surprised. Mm-hmm.
I knew it was coming sometime, but who knows if they'll ever bring it back or if this is really it.
So I called and said, "Can I speak to Kevin?" And some very nice person.
I know towards the end of the years, I didn't really keep after the Hardy Boys left ROH. I really didn't keep up with much ROH, and then I know it's been okay. There's pretty much a whole new roster before they went out of business. But yeah, this ROH has a lot of history with Punk and Aries and Bryan and all those great wrestlers.
Yep. And I don't know if you knew this or not, just a little knowledge for you. Actually, CM Punk did some matches for Steel Domain. Him and Cole Cabana had a few matches together.
Yeah, actually, I looked it up like a few years after I started watching Steel Domain, and yeah, I was surprised, and it was honestly pretty cool to this year that he was in wrestling for Steel Domain. And I know there's like a very old Steel Domain wrestling DVD out there that I want to eventually find, and I know it's got Punk on there, so yeah. Mm-hmm. Probably the only area you can find
those matches as well. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So we got like about 10 minutes left here. Do we want to talk about what the next topic for next week's show should be? Oh no.
Now it seemed as though Bill was the one on trial.
We have a glitch.
And over and over again. He's lying to save his own skin. He's lying to protect himself. He's lying.
Well, hopefully Jaron gets his glitch fixed. If not here, I'm just going to go ahead and thank everyone for tuning in. Thanks, Jaron, for coming on. Next week's topic, we're going to be looking into the indie promoters versus the WWE promoters and Impact promoters and AEW promoters. So everybody have a good night. Jaron, thank you once again for coming on, and we will see you all next week at 5:30 again. Have a good night, everyone.